in the first two, and they come into play tonight with a share of first place in the Central. We check out the Subway Sub Prize that is on the line tonight. There you have it. Detroit, Chicago, both 82 and 72. And the Tigers, hopefully by the night's end, will have first place all by themselves. Rick Porcello is getting set to make the start for the Detroit Tigers. And this is the lineup that he will face tonight for the Kansas City Royals. It's presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be David Lowe leading it off in center field. Then Alcides Escobar, the shortstop. Alex Gordon in left. Billy Butler, the DH. Salvador Perez will do the catching. Mike Moustakas at third. Francoeur, Hosmer, and Falou are your bottom three tonight for the Royals. And tonight's starting pitcher is indeed Rick Porcello. He is presented by Soaring Eagle Casino.
And Rick Porcello has been sitting on 9 wins since August 7th. That's a long, long time. What he really needs to go out to do is allow that sinker ball to work for him, get ahead, and then use some breaking balls just the way Sanchez did last night to keep some of the Kansas City Royals hitters off balance. Beaumont Health System will sponsor the Tigers defensive alignment once again here this evening. Q gets the start in left. Dirks is bumped over to right field. Jackson, he's the center fielder every day. You have Cabrera and Fielder on the corners. Peralta, Infante up the middle, and Alex Avila is the catcher tonight.
And Quentin Berry these days has pretty much won the playing time over Brennan Bosch against right-handed pitching. So the Q is out there in left field in this one tonight. If the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. It is a cool, crisp evening here in the Motor City as we get ready for baseball tonight. Game 3 in the series. Rick Porcello is done with his warm-up pitches. And it'll be David Lowe, Alcides Escobar, and Alex Gordon for the Royals. David Lowe is seeing his first start in this series. He has come on as a defensive replacement a couple of times. Batting .243 with 1 RBI in 13 big league games. Rick Porcello again in search of that 10th win of the season. He comes in at 9-12. And here is his first pitch of tonight's ball game. Lowe looks at a strike 0-1, and we are underway.
It's our first look at Lowe, but apparently he's a guy that likes to bunt because Miguel Cabrera is about 10 steps in front of that third base bag at his respective position.
Here's the 0-1. Missed it inside and high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You expect Rick to be a little stronger tonight. Fastball will probably get all the way up to 95, maybe even 96 this evening. He was skipped his last turn, so it's been quite a few days since he's been on the mound.
Here's the 1-1 offering. Strike called on the inside part of the plate. 1-2.
And good sinker ball there by Porcello inside at 93 miles an hour.
And the 1-2 pitch. Driven in the air toward right center field and hit well, but Jackson will cruise back there and make the play. Lowe is retired. 1 gone. That's how we start this one here tonight. It'll bring up Alcides Escobar. .293 hitter this year. 2 for 8 in the series. Escobar with a double in this series as well. And while Escobar bats .293 for the year, this has been a mismatch. Porcello has faced him 16 times, and Escobar is 0 for 16 against him. Wave and a miss, 0-1. Porcello career against the Royals 5-3, an ERA of 4.50. Now the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Escobar has speed. He has 32 stolen bases, 5th best in the American League. Keeping him off the base paths is something Porcello would like. A little bit of home run, power I should say. He's hit 4 home runs. Here's a chopper to third. Nice play by Cabrera. Off balance throw is in time.
Quick feet by Cabrera.
He made a great play last night, and that was a really difficult play.
Nice athletic play here. He reaches over, and then when he finally grabs the ball, he's in foul territory and simply throws off balance, but throws accurately across the diamond to Prince. Nice play.
Last night it was a leaping play. Tonight he comes in front of the bag and throws off balance for the out. Here is Alex Gordon batting .292. He is homered in this series. That came against Verlander in the first game of this set. And he shoots one foul down the left field line. No balls, one strike on Gordon. Tigers and Royals getting together quite a bit the final week of the season, this 4-game series, and then of course the 3-gamer to close out the regular season. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Gordon. Ned Yost in his 3rd season as the skipper of the Royals, won 196 games at the helm of KC. There's the bouncing ball back up the middle. Long run for Infante. Off balance. Throw is in time. And the Tigers with a couple of sparkling defensive plays. Austin Jackson will lead things off for the Tigers, and the Tigers starting lineup tonight brought to you by Big Boy. It'll feature Jackson at the top, then Quentin Berry in left field, followed by Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder at first base, Delman the DH, Andy Dirks, 327 against righties this year, Peralta, Vila, Infante, your bottom 3, and tonight's starting pitcher for Kansas City is Jeremy Guthrie. He is presented by Fox Toyota of Rochester Hills.
Yeah, he's been on a roll since he's been with the Kansas City Royals. He didn't fare all that well at the beginning of the season with the Colorado Rockies, but since he's put on that Royals uniform, he has pitched some outstanding baseball for their club.
And he will face the Tigers now in the bottom of the first. Austin Jackson leads it off and takes strike 1. AJ in the series 4 out of 7, has a double and an RBI. Average at .303. Guthrie missing outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I was talking to Austin Jackson in the clubhouse today when he was watching some video on Guthrie, and he was commenting on how he can't believe this guy has not won more games in the major leagues with his stuff.
Looks like Jackson is going to reach to start this one off. It's cut off in center by Lowe. AJ on his way to second, and he's in with a stand-up double.
We talked about Austin Jackson in Tigers Live today and just how impactful he is when he scores a run, because Prince Fielder and also Miguel Cabrera, they drive him in with regularity, but his balance has just been on point all season long. Boy, what an igniter at the top of that batting order.
So we'll see if Barry can move him up. 28 doubles on the year now for Jackson. Tigers an early scoring chance here. Berry is 0 for 4 in this series, batting .268. Wave and a miss, 0-1.
And Guthrie has a fastball that will go anywhere from 92 all the way up to 95 miles an hour. He has a really good changeup. He'll cut the fastball as well. And a curve and a slider. He's got all 4 pitches.
33-year-old out of Roseburg, Oregon. Missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Berry 4 hits on the homestand, has seen Guthrie twice, and he has 2 hits against him. Wave and a miss. 1-2 on Quentin Berry.
Real good pitch here. Down and away from Quentin Berry. Guthrie knows exactly what Berry wants to do. He wants to hit the ball to second base. Therefore, a couple of real good 2-seam fastballs down away from Quentin, and Quentin has not been able to do his job yet.
Blocked by Perez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Guthrie joined the Royals on July the 20th. They made a trade with Colorado. They sent Jonathan Sanchez over to the Rockies. And since coming over to KC, he has pitched some outstanding baseball. In fact, the Royals have won his last 9 starts. And he checked it inside. Now the count on Berry goes full at 3-2. Waiting on deck, Miguel Cabrera. And Berry will step out. Leadoff 2-base hit by Jackson. Just underway here at the ballpark. Tigers tied up with Chicago for first place in the Central with 8 to go, including tonight. Little tapper right in front of the plate. This will not advance the runner, and Guthrie throws him out. 1 gone.
That may have been a play there. If Jackson got a better read on this particular play, he may have been able to get over to third base, because as it was, Jeremy Guthrie didn't even look at Austin Jackson. He just came in and he made the play and he went to first base.
So here is Cabrera now, with a chance to drive in a run. Miguel at 329. And he steps away from a breaking ball strike. Miguel has slowed down just a little bit over his last 6 games. He is 5 for 23. And just 1 hit in this series. 133 driven in this year for Cabrera. Tipped into the glove for strike 2. Guthrie has not lost a decision since August the 3rd. It's been a while since he has tasted a defeat. The 0-2 fouled straight back.
Their team plays with a lot of confidence when Guthrie is on the mound. They just seem to win every single game, at least lately, that he's been out there.
Well, the Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Jeremy Guthrie. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you in that stretch since his last loss. And his last 9 starts, a sparkling ERA of 1.75.
38 strikeouts. He's only walked 9 in that span, and the opponent's batting average .220 against him. Really only 1 bad start. That bad start was against the Boston Red Sox.
0-2 on Cabrera. Good block again by Perez. He's had to make a couple of those here in this inning. 1-2. Salvador, each of the last 3 years in the Royals minor league system, was voted as their best defensive catcher in the minors.
He's got a big body too, but he's able to get over in front of this ball and just smother it.
Check swing low. 2-2 on Cabrera.
Not your typical catcher's body. He's 6'3", about 245 pounds. And most catchers are about 5'10", 5'11".
Now Cabrera waiting on a 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Ground ball off of Guthrie. It'll roll to the shortstop Escobar, and they will throw him out. Guthrie with a ricochet play saves a run. Jackson will get to third with 2 outs.
Escobar has a lot of range at that shortstop position, but Mickey hit this ball rather sharply, and I'm not sure whether Escobar would have been able to get there, and not the ball trickled off of the right shin of Guthrie.
I think that ball gets through.
I do too.
And they score a run. They haven't even come out to look at Guthrie, and that thing hit him square in the shin. So with 2 outs, here is Fielder, runner at third. And that's fouled off at home plate, 0-1. Fielder checks in at 309. Had a couple of RBIs in the series. Guthrie throwing from the windup with the runner at third. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Leadoff double by Jackson, standing at third now with 2 outs. And Prince has 104 RBIs this year, trailing only Cabrera on the Tigers team. Low and away, 2-1. Prince goes out there every single day. In fact, tonight is his 336th consecutive game played, which is the longest active streak in the major leagues. And he sends a chopper to the left side of the infield. Escobar will charge it. Actually, that's the third baseman, Moustakas, who makes the play on the shift, and the side is retired. Tiger Strand, a leadoff double. And by Marie Callender's frozen meals, better than homemade. Another nice night here in downtown Detroit, although there wasn't much sunshine going around today. Still 61 degrees at game time. Scoreless ball game as we go to the top of the second. Rick Porcello goes back to work, and Billy Butler leads it off. And Butler looks at ball 1 from Porcello. Perez and then Moustakas to follow. Billy batting .315 this year. He's had a good series, 4 for 8. 3 of those hits, though, came against Verlander in game 1. Ball too high on Butler. 27 home runs this year, career high. Here's the 2-0. He's swinging and a bouncing ball to third base where Cabrera has it. Easy out. Butler is gone.
Porcello in his major league career averages 2 ground balls for every fly ball thrown, and already 3 ground ball outs in the contest thrown by Rick Porcello this evening. He appears to have that real good sinker ball. It doesn't appear that the extra rest that Jim Leyland gave Porcello by skipping him his last start has affected that real good 2-seam fastball.
Here's Salvador Perez. We know that Porcello will give up his hits. In fact, he's allowed 215 this year, which leads the American League.
Is that a lot?
That would be about 11.5 per 9 innings. That would qualify as a lot. The 1-0. And Jim Leyland was asked the other day, yes, he gets up a lot of hits, but because he gets a lot of ground balls, is it okay knowing that he'll get his double plays? And Jim said, no, we've got to get that number down.
He just needs to find that legitimate swing and miss pitch, not necessarily for a strikeout, but just to keep guys off balance. Way too many balls get put in play against Porcello. And if he's able to do that going into spring training next year, the 10 and 11 wins can go all the way up to 15, 16.
Here's the 2-1 to Perez. And it's in for a strike. 2-2.
That's a good pitch right there. That's the pitch that he needs to have a little bit more confidence in. That's the breaking ball. And it's in a really good location.
Swing and a miss. Perez has a big rip, and down he goes. 2 away.
The previous pitch was breaking ball about 83 miles an hour. Then he goes back to the bottom of the zone with a 2-seam fastball at 93 miles an hour. So Rick's got some life on that fastball tonight.
5 in a row retired by Porcello. Here's Mike Moustakas. 0 for 7 in the series, batting .243. Ball 1 missing away.
Tigers starting pitching has been outstanding in this series against the Kansas City Royals. Not many of them have done anything.
Started with Verlander, then of course Sanchez last night, who was lights out. 1 ball 1 strike on Moustakas.
Good changeup there from Porcello.
Bruce Chen was also very good last night, but the victim of not much run support. Here's the 1-1. Line to left field, base hit. Opposite field single for Moustakas. By the way, this game tonight is available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. It's sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. Here's Jeff Francoeur with 2 outs. .237 hitter this year, Francoeur. Ball 1 away from Porcello. Francoeur has hit safely in 10 of his last 14. One of the veterans they have in their lineup. He's still only 28 years old, but he got to the big leagues at an early age. Spent a lot of time in Atlanta. And he drives one in the air to center field. Jackson has a lot of room out there. And that is an out, number 3. They get a hit, strand a man. We go to the bottom of the second.
Francoeur in right. Escobar, their shortstop, has a great arm, and their catcher, Salvador Perez, 5 pickoffs this season. He doesn't have a gun behind that dish. He's got a cannon.
Here's Delman Young to lead it off against Guthrie, and a strike called on Delman. It'll be Young, Dirks, and Peralta. In the Tigers' second, no score. Both teams with a hit. Both teams have stranded a runner. Delman takes low and away. It's been a pretty good homestand for Delman. He's had 8 hits, 4 for 8 in this series, and has an RBI as well. Bouncing ball foul. 1-2. Guthrie certainly had to be happy to leave the Rockies. He did not perform well at Coors Field. His numbers have been decidedly better wearing Royals colors. 1-2 sails high and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's a free agent after this season, and I'm surprised, as well as he has pitched for Kansas City, and the fact that they could use some starting pitching going into 2013.
That's drilled to the gap in left center field. It'll get down and go all the way to the wall. Delman on his way to second. He might go for 3 here. Let's see. He's going to hold up with a double.
Delman's got them short, choppy steps.
Not the triple steps. The long gliding steps.
He got himself a breaking ball, and he went down to get it. Actually, it's a changeup that he just clobbers into the gap in left center field. It's the second time they've doubled into that area today. Jackson also doubled. Just to finish that thought on Guthrie, the fact that at least the Royals aren't saying whether they've started talking to him about potentially bringing him back next year. But if he continues to pitch like he is down the stretch, he hits that free agent market, they might not be able to afford him.
Dirks looks at ball 1. Well, the Royals have said that that's one area they will target in the offseason to try and get better, and that's the starting rotation. Dirks takes a little bit outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Here are those splits with the Rockies, an ERA of 6.35, and that's with the Royals less than half at 3.00. Much better. Bouncing ball back up the middle and into center field. Base hit. Here comes Young rounding third. He's going to score. RBI single for Andy Dirks. 1-0 Detroit.
Andy Dirks has been driving into big runs lately. And one of the reasons why Dirks has driven in quite a few runs is the fact that Young has been on base with regularity along with Fielder and Miguel Cabrera. He beat the shift that time.
Andy gets his 34th RBI of the season. That's also his 11th hit on this homestand. He has been raking. Here's Johnny Peralta. The Tigers failed to advance a leadoff double in the first inning, and they paid for it. Dirks not only advanced the runner, he scored him. Johnny batting .241. But it's been a rough month of September for Peralta. 163. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball to third, and that's a foul ball. Anything hit that way, it's going to be tough because Moustakas has been one of the best defensively. Statistically, the best third baseman in the league. He put on a show the last time the Tigers were in KC.
Played shortstop when he was in high school. So he's got some quick feet. Able to really make a nice adjustment over to third base.
0-2 on Peralta. And a ground ball left side, deep in the hole. Escobar has trouble with it, throws to first. Save! Tried to go to second, couldn't get it out of his glove, and by the time he recovered, it was too late.
Has lots of range. He's very upset at himself, the fact that he was not able to get the ball out of his glove to get the force play. Also give Andy Dirks a lot of credit. Dirks was hustling, which meant that once he didn't get it out of the glove, he had to go across the diamond, and he couldn't get Johnny Peralta.
Infield hit. And the Tigers now with 3 straight hits here in the second.
Tigers have gotten an infield hit in the last 3 games. They don't usually get a whole lot of infield singles.
Well, it sets up potentially a big inning here as Avila looks at a strike. 0-1 on Alex. One for 2 in the series. Dirks at second. Peralta, the runner at first with nobody out. Lifted down the line, foul. Make it 0-2 on Avila. He was played much more sparingly down the stretch this year as compared to last year. And it's been a lot easier for Jim Leyland to do, knowing that Gerald Laird has given him some quality plate appearances down the stretch.
Not only has Gerald Laird swung the bat well this year, but he has caught and called some outstanding games.
Strike called, and Avila is caught looking for strike 3. 1 gone. We'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Omar Infante. Guthrie trying to work out of a sizable jam here. He's given up 1 run. Perez walks out to the mound.
Don't forget to join us again tomorrow when the Tigers wrap up their series with the Royals. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Tigers Live on Fox Sports Detroit. That's Tigers baseball tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Final regular season home game of the year.
Yes, let's clarify that.
Right.
Here is Infante. Ball 1. Omar 265. He's had a nice series. Tripled in the ball game last night. He has scored a couple of times. And he looks at a strike. 1-1 on Infante. Omar finished the night last night with 2 hits. Tigers had to hang on to win over KC 2-0. They got 2 runs in the first, and it held up the rest of the night. Broke his bat. That's going to be a tough play. Falou got him. Nicely done. Irving Falou charging on that ball. That'll advance the runners, but 2 gone.
Do or die play for Falou, who had very little time to transfer the ball to the throwing hand and flip it over to first base.
Once it got by Guthrie, it had the look of an infield hit.
One of the keys to that play is he was able to position his feet and also get the glove and the throwing hand in a very close area, which meant it took a little time for him to get the ball to first base.
Breaking ball strike on Jackson. AJ started the first with a double but did not score. Little chopper left side of the infield. Moustakas has it. A gun across the diamond and the side retired, so the damage kept to a minimum. They get 1 run. Strand 2. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Hey, by the way, you could vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game. It's presented by the Daily Double Burger at McDonald's for only $1.99. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Top three now. It's 1-0 in favor of Detroit. Eric Hosmer will lead things off. Hosmer, Falou, and Lowe. 8, 9, and 1 in the KC lineup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Porcello's 1-1. It's outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hosmer is 0 for 7 in this series, but you break it out a little bit longer, and he's 0 for his last 13. It's been a struggle for him offensively for the most part this year. The average of 234. And he pops this one up. Shallow center field. Jackson in. Peralta back. Jackson makes the play. 1 gone. Let's go back to the studio now for a game break. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, we look forward to it. In the meantime, here it's 1-0 Detroit. Irving Falou stands in. It's our first look at Falou in this series. Batting .355, a 21st round pick back in the 2003 season for the Royals. So he has really toiled in the minor leagues. And getting an opportunity to play at the major league level. The 1-1 rolled foul. Here's the 1-2 offering. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Waiting on deck, David Lowe. Falou had over 3,500 minor league at bats. Hit .301 last year at AAA. His first taste of the big leagues this season, and he rolls it foul outside of the bag. 2-2 on Falou. Only hit so far that Porcello has allowed, a single back in the second by Mike Moustakas. It's again back out of play. Falou is 29 years old in his rookie season here in the major leagues. Never really had one of those big minor league seasons. His career high in homers 7. Most he has driven in a minor league year 50. Solid numbers. There's a base hit down the right field line. Falou rounding the bag. He's going to try for 2. And he'll be in there. It's a double for Irving Falou.
And Porcello got a breaking ball up in the zone, and Falou got out in front of it. And by the time Andy Dirks was able to run it down in that right field corner, Falou with a stand-up double.
Fifth of the season here at the big league level, and now David Lowe stands in. Tying run is second base with 1 out. Chopped foul. 0-1. Low fly to center field to start the ball game. 0 for 1. Low down in the minor leagues, stole a lot of bases. In fact, In 5 separate seasons, he swiped 20 or more.
He fits right in with this current group then.
And he slices that one fair down the left field line. That's going to get a run in. It's extra bases for Lowe, and he will cruise into second, taking the turn. A wide turn it is, and back he goes. Back-to-back 2-base hits. Royals have tied it up.
It's a 92-mile-per-hour fastball that gets way too much plate, sliced down in the left field corner by Lowe, and Falou had no problem scoring.
Lowe gets his second RBI. So the Tigers get a run on the second. Royals answer. And now here is Alcides Escobar. Cabrera made a nice play on him back in the first inning. 0 for 1. 0-1 the count. One thing we do know, when these two teams meet, it's typically going to be a close game. In the season series this year, they've played 7 one-run games. And 10 of the 13 have been decided by 2 or less. Bouncing ball left side. Cabrera will check the runner. Escobar is out, 2 gone. So the second time he's bounced out to third. And that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Alex Gordon. Any reason you could think of all the close games between these two teams?
Well, they don't score a lot of runs, usually against Detroit's pitching. And for whatever reason, Detroit this season hasn't hit their pitching as well as it has in the past. And they've got a pretty good bullpen, so they've been able to slow the games down late in games, and they've won some close contests against the Tigers, and the Tigers have won their fair share of close games too.
Season series coming into this ball game tonight. 9-4 in favor of the Tigers, but again, many of those very, very close, tight games. There's a little looper into shallow left center field, sinking fast. Jackson can't get it. That'll score a run. Gordon on his way to second, dives in with a 2-base hit. Oh, AJ almost made a great play.
Last couple of nights, the Kansas City Royals bat slowed down by Verlander and Sanchez last night. And so they would come out aggressive here tonight. And great effort there by Austin.
Anything hit the center field, you almost expect every single time he's going to make the play. And he very nearly did on that one.
And one of the best center fielders in all of baseball.
Made a really good play last night, but came up just a little bit short on that one. Butler swings and misses. Butler bounced out his first time up. 2 runs on 4 hits now for KC. A run on 4 hits for Detroit. Ball low, 1-1. Well, he had to dump it into center field, but that's his 50th double of the year.
He's had a couple of monster offensive seasons the last 2 years.
Way outside.
And it seems like since they moved him from third base to left field, he's a totally different player.
Yeah, the numbers have been much better since his move to the outfield. And certainly appears to be playing with much more confidence and much more relaxed than he was when he came up, when all the pressure was on his shoulders. Highly touted prospect. Butler lines one to center. That's a base hit. Here comes Gordon rounding third. They're going to send him home. Jackson's throw to the plate. He is not in time. Single and an RBI for Billy Butler, and the Royals now lead 3-1. It's going to bring Jeff Jones out of the dugout.
Yeah, Billy Butler just wears out Tigers pitching. And when you give him a 92-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle, that's what you're going to get. He's going to hit it hard. Jackson made this play closer than I thought he was with Gordon running from second base. Gordon has good speed, but that's just an idea of how hard Billy Butler hit that ball to center field.
As he continues to add to his career high in RBIs, 103 now, and you're not kidding, he does wear out Tigers pitching. Career, he came in at 332 and over 400 this year. Here's Salvador Perez. Seventh man to bat in the inning. Perez struck out back in the second. Strike one on the Royals catcher. Grounded foul, third base side. So it's 0-2. Perez began the year on the disabled list, tore up his knee before the season even started, and didn't come off the DL until really middle to late June. And he got him, strike three. Picked apart there by Porcello. Big inning though for KC. They scored 3 times. Forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. It is brought to you by Miller Lite. And here is Quentin Berry to lead things off. Berry, Cabrera, and Fielder. Quentin tapped out to the mound his first time up after the leadoff double by Jackson. Q is 0 for 5 in the series. Here's the 1-0. Bouncing ball, second base. Falou has it there. And one out. What's going on in the Jimmy John's leaderboard? It appears that we have some company now at the top of the home run leading charts. Of course, Hamilton still leads the way, but Edwin Encarnacion has hit one tonight. He now has 42.
What a season he has had. And he is pretty much the only offense they have in the middle of that batting order without Bautista.
Here is Cabrera. And there's a strike 0-1.
Still fascinating the fact that of the 42 home runs that Miguel has hit this year, 28 have come right here in spacious Comerica Park.
let's say the roles were reversed and Hamilton played in Detroit and Cabrera played in Texas. It's fun to think how many Miguel could hit in that ballpark.
No doubt he'd have 50 at least this year. You could even say that in regards to Encarnacion in Toronto.
Agreed. Here's the 1-1. Ball high, 2-1. Miguel had a bullet right back to the mound his first time up. It ricocheted off the shin of Guthrie right to the shortstop. They threw him out. Here's the 2-1. Drill to center field, right on the line, right at low. 2 gone.
He's hit 2 missiles today.
And nary a thing to show for it. It's a triple crown board as we continue to follow Miguel in the 3 categories of average home runs and RBI. Joe Mauer was making a late push, but he was hitless today, dropping to 323. Here's Prince Fielder. Breaking ball low, 1-0. Shift on for Prince. 3 defenders to the right of second base, which leaves Moustakas, the third baseman, at the shortstop position. Two-0.
Since August 1st, spanning 51 games, monster numbers for Prince. He's also played in every single game this year.
I never realized how much he played until the Tigers acquired him in the offseason. I started looking up some of his numbers, and I saw under games played 161, 162, 162, 159. I mean, it was amazing. 2-1 is outside, 3-1.
That's why it was so disappointing for him in the offseason when he was a free agent, when there were so many people out there that kept saying that, you know what, with the body that he has, he's going to break down. And that's the reason why a lot of teams didn't offer him monster contracts before the Tigers gave him a boatload of money.
3-2. Well,
he is a big man, but he's a good athlete for his size.
And that's the key right there. He is a really good athlete.
He got the fastball at 3-1 and just missed it.
Full count on Prince Fielder. 2 outs. We're in the third. 3-1 Kansas City. Rolled foul. Action in the Tigers bullpen. Drew Smiley, the left-hander, warming up. Porcello allowed the 3 in the top of the third. And again the 3-2. Ball 4 high. 2 out base on balls for Fielder. 51 thrown by Guthrie. And here is Young, who doubled to the gap in left center field back in the second. Ball high, 1-0. Delman now 5 for 9 in the series. And sends a ground ball to short. Scooped up there by Escobar. They'll get the force to end the inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. On to the 4th we go. in September? That is your question. It was quite a night last night for Sanchez. A 10 strikeout performance, and in his, I would say, biggest start as a Tiger, and he came through with flying colors. Here's Mike Moustakas. He sends a slow roller towards short. Peralta charging on the play, and Moustakas is out.
I don't know if all of you had a chance to witness what Sanchez was featuring last night, but he had an Albuquerque slider last night. Take a look at some of these swings by the Kansas City Royals hitters, and they've got some decent hitters, but they just could not do anything with this slide piece. Ten strikeouts.
Those are all located so well that Royals hitters had no chance last night.
Sanchez obviously was very happy after the game, and he said finally the guy showed up that they traded for, because he knew that he really hadn't pitched all that well in some of the starts that he had made as a Tiger, but last night he had everything working.
Here's a drive into deep left field, way back, and that ball is going to go. It is gone. A home run for Jeff Francoeur.
Francoeur's got those long arms, and he has that long swing, and every now and then when he's able to extend those arms, he can do some damage. "90 miles an hour." You can see the arms, the extension, the power.
Francoeur makes it a 4-1 ball game with his 14th home run of the season. One of those home runs where the outfielder barely moves. Eric Hosmer, the batter. Slow tap. Porcello will toss to first for the out. 2 gone.
First couple of innings, Porcello was really good here today. Everything was at the bottom of the zone. 3 of the first 4 hitters hit the ball on the ground, so his game was intact. But the last couple of innings, he's made some mistakes up in the zone, and because of that, they've made him pay. Here's that 3rd inning. The balls that are up. Another one laced down the opposite way. Billy Butler got himself a good fastball down the middle.
Irving Falou takes outside, 1-0.
Seems like it's been that for Rick about the last 7 starts. That one bad inning where he just can't stop the bleeding.
Yep, that it is. And it's been a deciding factor. His last win was on August the 7th. Now his numbers haven't been terribly lopsided. In 6 of his last 7 starts, he's given up 3 earned runs or less.
Tigers haven't scored for him.
It's also been a big part of the problem. Down the middle it comes, 2-1. And 5 of the 7 were 1-run deficits. Here's the 2-1. Falou cuts and misses. He started their rally back in the 3rd with a double, and then eventually scored on the David Lowe 2-base hit. And the 2-2. Driven to right field, sinking, base hit right in front of Andy Dirks. So that's a 2-for-2 night for Irving Falou. The Tigers getting on the phone again, apparently.
Yeah, Rick's going to have to make an adjustment. He's going to have to figure out a way to get back to what he was doing in the 1st and 2nd inning, which allowed him to get a lot of ground balls.
Now David Lowe. That's 7 hits now allowed by Rick. Came in leading the league with 215 hits allowed. Lowe doubled in a run back in the 3rd, part of the 3-run frame. Strike 1. Smiley is no longer throwing. Luis Marte is the right-hander. Rick now has given up 7 or more hits in 9 of his last 10 starts. After cruising through the first 2 innings. Falou, the runner at first, and a swing and a miss. Ned Yost was talking about David Lowe, and he was comparing him to David DeJesus, very athletic. DeJesus played a lot of years in KC. Lowe, an 11th round pick in 07, a couple of years ago. A career .294 hitter in the minor leagues. Ned Yost, like a lot of other managers, Manny Acta, trying to toe that line between putting out a competitive lineup every single night, especially against the contenders, and looking at your young hitters and pitchers as well. Ball high, 1-2.
His everyday lineup is very young.
True.
And they are everyday players for the most part. Lowe, Falou, a couple of guys that we're getting a look at. But there is that fine line when you're going up against contenders.
And the 1-2. He got him, strike 3. David Lowe is caught looking, aiming over. They get a run on the Francoeur home run.
Receive a Detroit Tigers team photo. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Well, some work to do now for the Tigers. They are down by a score of 4-1 as Andy Dirks leads it off. Dirks, Peralta, and then Avila facing the right-hander Jeremy Guthrie. And he had an RBI single accounting for the Tigers' run. That was back in the second. And he looks at strike 1. Dirks now 34 RBIs. Here's the 0-1. In there for strike 2. Guthrie spent 5 years with the Orioles in the American League prior to coming over to KC via Colorado. The 0-2 is sliced foul back out of play. And in 5 years with Baltimore, won 47 games. And you were talking about his stuff and how a lot of people just wonder why he's not been a more consistent winner.
Gets up to 96 with the fastball. He can command his breaking ball in fastball counts. He's got a nice little changeup.
1-2.
Very articulate. Stanford graduate.
college career began at BYU, spent 2 years on a mission, and then when he came back, went to Stanford to continue his baseball career. Fouled away. 1-2. The count stays on Dirks. 4 runs, 7 hits. KC. The Tigers a run on 4 hits. Neither team with an error tonight.
And one of the things that Guthrie did not do very well when he was in the American League East, he didn't pitch all that well against Boston or the Yankees, but there's a lot of pitchers that don't pitch well against those two clubs. As a matter of fact, as impressive as his last 9 starts have been, and when Guthrie did run into the Boston Red Sox, he had one of his worst starts in a Kansas City Royals uniform this year.
And the 2-2. Fouled away again. Well, Guthrie now has hit the 60 plateau.
Ratio not all that good either. 37 strikes. 23 have missed the strike zone.
Another foul. Guthrie had a start earlier this year at the beginning of August at Chicago. 8 shutout innings. In fact, he did that twice against the White Sox. And again the 2-2. Dirk sends one down the right field line. It is hooking, and it is a foul ball. That could not have missed by much.
Andy Dirks has had a really good at bat. He had continued to foul off foul ball after foul ball, fastball, excuse me, and got a hanging breaking ball there from Guthrie and almost kept it fair.
A lot of hook. Right on the line.
Sounds like my golf swing.
Jeff Nelson had a good look at it. And it just landed foul. This will be the 10th pitch coming up in this at bat. He has fouled off 5 2-strike pitches. And he got him. Strike 3. That lengthy battle comes to an end, and Guthrie won that one.
That's the second time today he's punched out a left-handed batter looking with a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. He got a velo on that exact same pitch earlier today, or earlier in the game, I should say.
It's Johnny Peralta.
That 94-mile-per-hour fastball, he just threw there Dirks and had some late life on it.
Ball 1. Peralta takes low. 2 balls, no strikes. That's in there on the outer edge. 2-1 on Peralta, who had an infield single back in the second. Tigers had an opportunity to get more than just the one they got. Scored a run, 2 on, nobody out, and they ended up with just 1 run. Pulled foul, third base side. 2-2. Guthrie's major league career began in the American League Central Division, Cleveland, back in 2004, then Baltimore, then the Rockies, and now here in KC. And just off the plate. 3-2. Avila waiting on deck. Fouled away. 94 again from Guthrie. Guthrie trying to stay away from the walk. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and he won't. It's a base on ball.
Don't forget to join us again tomorrow when the Tigers wrap up their series with the Royals. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Tigers Live on Fox Sports Detroit. That's Tigers baseball tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Every game counts.
And they're dwindling.
Just a week left in the regular season.
Here's Avila. Strikeout victim looking back in the second. Alex takes strike one. Guthrie has thrown 18 pitches now in this inning. After that lengthy battle with Dirks, he finally struck him out looking. A little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Deep right field. That ball is hit well. It is up and it is gone. It's a home run for Avila. A 2-run shot. Ball game.
Pretty swing here by Avila. The fastball down and he just clobbers it.
It is no cheapie when you hit one out there. There's a high fly ball to routine center field. David Lowe coming in. And that is out number 2. In the meantime, let's get an update from Chicago. Back to the Call Sam studios we go. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, thank you. Here it's tightened up considerably on the 2-run homer by Avila. And Austin Jackson looks at ball 1.
That's my new favorite player.
Kanzler?
Kanzler. He's had a good series over there.
He really has. Here's the 1-0. He's going to go out and buy his jersey now?
I was tweeting my buddy Bruce Fields last night, and I simply sent him a text, "Go Tribe."
And his response?
He laughed.
There's a drive to left field. That ball is hit well, and it is off the top of the wall. No, it's gone.
It's a four-bagger.
Jackson, just like that, has tied it up.
He is such a catalyst. 99th run this year that Jackson has scored. Trying to get to that century mark for the second time in his major league career.
Here's where it hit. Right over the wall. And it ricocheted around the bullpen. It hit that back wall, but it cleared the fence, and just like that, Tigers offense has picked up Rick Porcello. It's a 4-4 game. Homer number 16 for Jackson.
That is the 30th home run that Guthrie has given up this year. Between his two clubs, Colorado and now Kansas City. That's a lot of homers.
That is a lot of taters. Avila and Jackson taking him deep here in the 4th.
21 of those home runs came when he was in the National League with the Colorado Rockies.
Jackson also has 65 RBIs now. A 4-1 deficit has been erased. And 3-run fourth inning for Detroit. And a bouncing ball back up the middle. Falou gonna have to hurry. His throw is in time. Got him by half a step. Tigers coming right back. Using the long ball. Avila 2-run shot. Jackson pulls it to left center. We are tied. To you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers. Rick Porcello is done for the night. He will throw 4 innings tonight, give up 7 hits, 4 runs, didn't walk anybody, and fan 3. But that will be it for Rick tonight, and he will give way to the Tigers bullpen. Tiger bats coming alive. Indeed, they scored 3 runs to tie it up, and in a wall side windows pitching change, it's Luis Marte.
Luis Marte has not pitched all that much since coming up from the minor leagues. Just been in 11 games. Does not have a record of .344 earned run average. 15 strikeouts in 18 in the 3rd innings. Marte has a fastball that will go anywhere from 92 to 96 miles an hour and has an exceptional changeup.
He will face Escobar, Gordon, and Butler here in the 5th inning. Marte's last outing was on the 18th against Oakland. And here's the number 2 hitter, Alcides Escobar. A couple of ground balls against Porcello. And he throws strike 1 on the outer edge. Rick gave up 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. There's a ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. More activity in the Detroit bullpen. Darren Downs, the left-hander. Breaking ball in for a strike. 1-2.
And Verlander a couple of days ago went 8 innings, and Sanchez went 9 last night. That bullpen's well rested.
Popped up. Foul ground. Looks like fielder has room, but he can't handle it. He was drifting a little bit toward the end of that and couldn't haul it in.
And that's exactly why he did not make the play, is because he was drifting.
So Escobar still alive. And they've charged fielder with an error. He'll get fouled back out of play. 4 runs, 7 hits for KC tonight. 4 runs, 6 hits for Detroit. Here's Marte's 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is the 3rd stint this year for Marte in the big leagues. And Toledo had an ERA of 3.70. Swing and a miss. He had Escobar fishing. 1 out of the 5th.
That is one of the things that we did notice about last night's game, with Sanchez having that real good slider that he was featuring. He had 10 strikeouts. The majority were on sliders. The Royals, they cannot lay off this pitch right here. They couldn't do it last night, and they have not been able to do it tonight. Marte made the Tigers bullpen out of spring training, but ended up on the disabled list with a leg injury.
Left hamstring strain, which kept him on the disabled list till about the end of May, really. The 1-0 pitch. Ripped foul down the first base line.
Tigers did not have many jobs open when they got together in Lakeland, Florida in the middle of February. They were looking for a number 5 starter. Smiley won that job. And they really only had 1 or 2 bullpen spots to fill. And we just told you Marte won one of those jobs. Their team was pretty much intact.
Luis, first year in the big leagues last year, a 2.45 ERA in limited time in the major leagues, just a handful of games. The Dominican Republic. And he threads the outside corner for a strike. 2-2.
Marte pitched very well in the offseason down in Dominican in Winter League. And when he got to spring training, his arm was in shape. And that's how he won a job.
Driven down the right field line. It is a fair ball. Going to go to the corner. Looks like Gordon has himself another double.
He might just catch Hal McRae. That's his 51st double of the year. Left-handed hitters love that ball down and in.
Three shy of McRae now for the single season high in Royals history.
Yeah, McRae had 54.
Here's Butler trying to deliver him. Swing and a miss. Butler had an RBI single back in the 3rd when the Royals were building a 4-1 lead. Downs now is joined by Al Albuquerque. Good stop there by Avila. Tigers now going to have to piece the rest of this game together with the bullpen. Porcello tonight gave them 4. Marte here in the 5th. Foul tip. In and out of the glove of Avila. Royals have 8 hits tonight. 4 of those are doubles. Gordon with a 2-base hit here in the 5th as the Royals try and reclaim the lead. They let a 4-1 advantage get away. And he got him. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Butler caught looking.
Billy Butler looking for something soft, and he took the fastball that was well located, but Billy Butler usually does not let fastballs get away with 2 strikes. And let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch. And a real good pitch at the bottom of the zone, and he stayed out there with breaking balls. And because he threw him so many, Billy Butler got caught looking for a breaking ball with 2 strikes.
It's going to be it for Marte. Like the Tigers want Albuquerque. In a 4-4 game, 2 outs in the 5th. We'll be back. Is still 4-4, and Marte is out of the game. He'll give way now to Albuquerque, making his 6th appearance out of the Detroit bullpen.
12 strikeouts, 5 walks, and the batting average under 100 in 5 games against Albuquerque.
Salvador Perez with 2 outs. Ball inside, 1-0.
White Sox live and die by that home run, don't they?
They certainly do.
45% of their runs this season have come on home runs. Yankees even higher than that at about 48% of their runs. Total runs.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. Such a different game when you go to U.S. Cellular Field. As you see things knotted up in the Central Division, 82-72, both Detroit and Chicago, with the same record. 1 ball, 1 strike on Salvador Perez. Slider missing inside, 2-1. So Marte struck out Escobar, gave up the double to Gordon, but then he got Billy Butler looking. And Leland now bringing in Albuquerque. And the 2-1. Grounded foul. A one-handed pick by Eddie Rodriguez. Former infielder showing off his hands. 2-2. Lifted down the right field line, slicing away from fielder. Long run, not going to get there. Back into the seats it goes. It's been a tough night so far for Perez. A couple of strikeouts, but both of those at bats came against the starter, Rick Porcello. Tigers already have used 3 pitchers tonight. Porcello, Marte, Albuquerque. And we're only in the 5th. Gordon doubled with 1 out, still standing at second base. Tipped into the glove for strike 3. Albuquerque gets it done. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th. Cabrera leads it off for Detroit. Fifth inning, Miguel Cabrera will lead it off, still chasing that Triple Crown. It's been a while. 1967 as we check out the Farmers Insurance report card. And here's some of the stuff that was going on back in 67 when the last Triple Crown was won.
Gas was cheap.
You think we'll ever get back to 33 cents a gallon?
Negative.
How about the price of a stamp? 5 cents.
Supremes were rolling with Diana Ross.
Well, the Tigers now trying to break this 4-4 tie. It'll be Guthrie back to the hill, and he will face Miguel Cabrera. And he takes ball 1. Tigers tonight have hit 2 home runs. The 2-run shot by Avila, solo homer by Jackson, bringing them back from a 4-1 deficit. High, towering fly ball, deep left field, to the track, to the wall, and caught! Oh my goodness, Gordon waited for it to fall. That thing almost brought rain.
It stayed up in the air forever.
You cannot hit a ball farther without getting it out. At least down the left field line. Holy cow. When's the last time you saw a guy wait that long?
It's been a while. He just missed it, though.
Crowd's still buzzing about that one. Cabrera thinking, how'd I miss it? Here's the 1-0 pitch. Right back up the middle into center field.
Oh my goodness. How in the world did Guthrie get out of the way of that laser?
Well, you can talk about a chuck and duck. He barely got out of the way.
Wow.
One-on-one outers, Delman Young. A little bit outside, 1-0. Young had very little success against Guthrie coming into this game, was 3 for 21, and then he doubled against him back in the second and scored a run. He's got the go-ahead run at first base now with 1 out. Tigers have 7 hits, Royals have 8. In the air, shallow center field, looks like it might drop. No, it's caught. Escobar with a great play, the shortstop with an over-the-shoulder slide and catch. You talk about some range.
You're not going to see many shortstops go this far out into left center field and make this play. And he is one of the best shortstops in the league. And take a look at some of these plays that Escobar has made this year. That one there, sit.
That was not too shabby either. Dirks pops it up. Foul ground, Moustakas. And that is that for Detroit. So they get a single, but Strand to man. 2 big plays defensively for the Royals. Gordon camping at the wall. And Escobar. And you've got to go back to 1971 when Joe Coleman did it against the Boston Red Sox. The answer tonight to your trivia question. Great outing last night by Sanchez, pitching the Tigers into a first-place tie. Here come the Royals now in the 6th. It'll be Mike Moustakas, Jeff Francoeur, Eric Hosmer. Facing Al Albuquerque. First pitch in for a strike. Moustakas, single, ground out. Batting .244. And he pops it up. First base side. Prince coming over. Moustakas is out, 1 gone. Here is Francoeur. Home run back in the 4th for Francoeur. Rolled foul, third base side. Did you see Alex stay home on that last pop?
I sure did.
He wanted no part of Prince Fielder.
Can you blame him?
I cannot. It's all you, Prince. Go get it. The fielder was able to make the play easily. Now the 0-1. Inside, look out. Francoeur hits the dirt.
I don't think that was as close as Francoeur led us to believe, but he's looking for that slider from Albuquerque, so he was diving out over the plate, and this one was up, but I don't think it was as close as it looked.
Swing and a miss.
And it's really not a good idea to look for the Albuquerque slider anyway, because you can't hit it.
Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Peralta. Nice play. To his feet. Boom! Got him!
Nice play, Johnny.
Up the middle he goes, does a pirouette, and got him by half a step.
He had to get up in a hurry, and he also had to throw the ball flat-footed. But he threw it accurately over across the diamond just to get him by one step.
Big swing there by Hosmer. He's 0 for 2. Fly ball. And he tapped one right back to the mound back in the 4th. Those 2 at bats against Porcello. Grounded foul. 0-2 the count on Eric Hosmer. I only apologize for any language you might have heard on one of our microphones. Here's the 0-2 coming from Albuquerque, and it's swung on and missed. Boy, Al, 4 up, 4 down against him out of the Tigers bullpen. Of these 4 home games here in 2012, which was your favorite? Now we've kind of narrowed it down to 4, but was it A, opening day, B, the JV 1-hitter against the Pirates, almost had a no-hitter that night, Cabrera's walk-off against the Cleveland Indians when Perez imploded, and last night the Sanchez game? You can text ACE, then a space, then A, B, C, or D to 37338. 4 good choices. Pick yours. Ball 1 to Johnny Peralta. He'll be followed by Avila, then Infante in the bottom of the 6th. And Jeremy Guthrie is still out there. There's a ground ball left side to Moustakas. And Peralta's out, 1 gone. You have a favorite of those 4?
I probably would go with that Cabrera walk-off when the Tigers were down to 1 out, down by 5. That was that game against Cleveland, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I would probably have to take that one as well. Opening day is always special. The Justin Verlander near no-hitter was cool. Sanchez was great last night, but for pure emotion, that day was tough to beat. Here's Avila. He started to bring the Tigers back in the 4th with a 2-run shot. And he shoots this one on the ground. Diving stop by Falou. From his knees, throws him out.
Hey fans, Detroit's #1 mascot, Paws, is available to appear at your next special event. Bring Major League fun to birthday parties, corporate events, parades, and school functions. To book Paws for your next special event, call 313-471-2188 or visit tigers.com/paws.
Does it have to be a special event? I mean, can Paws just like hang out at your house for a day?
Well, I guess if you want to open up the pocketbooks.
Here's Infante with 2 outs. That bounces in. 1-1 on Omar. Ground out, fly out. Now the 1-1 pitch. In the air, center field. Right at David Lowe. And Guthrie has a 1-2-3 6th. That means we go to the 7th.
Jump up and take a home run away from Cabrera, but most of the glove work has been done by the middle infielders, whether it be Escobar, Peralta, or even Falou. Their second baseman made a nice play.
Speaking of Falou, he will lead things off here in the 7th inning. Then David Lowe and then Alcides Escobar facing the right-handed offerings of Al Albuquerque, who's faced 4 batters out of the bullpen. He's retired all 4, 2 via the strikeout. And Falou looks one right into the glove, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Single double for Falou. He drops down a bunt, and it's going to roll foul. Couldn't quite keep it fair down the third base line. More action in the Detroit bullpen. Octavio Dotel, the right-hander. Phil Coke is the lefty. Ripped through, a base hit. Right by fielder. Right by Infante. And the number 9 hitter now has 3 knocks. Leadoff man aboard here in the 7th. It's going to bring up David Lowe. And the Royals now have 9 hits in this ball game. Lowe had an RBI double back in the 3rd. Cabrera well on the grass at 3rd base. Lowe showing bunt. And he'll lay it down foul. Right in the opposite batter's box. 0-1. Down at Omaha this year, Lowe hit .275, knocked in 69 runs. Has been a really good minor league hitter in his career. .294 lifetime. The 0-1. Let that one go by way high. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the Motor City tonight at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. For game 3 in this series, Mario Impemba, Rod Allen. As the Tigers continue their hopefully march to the playoffs. Markai Stefano, our producer tonight. Brian Moss, our director. And that's bunted foul. Now Lowe is in the hole in the count. 1-2. Albuquerque came on in the 5th and struck out Perez. Had a 1-2-3 6th. Little help from Johnny Peralta, who made a nice play up the middle. Fouled straight back.
Albuquerque has been all the way up to 96 miles an hour with his fastball. And the only breaking ball he throws is a slider.
Little chopper foul. Banged that one off his foot. Boy, Albuquerque throwing nothing but strikes.
What a weapon he will be if the Tigers are fortunate enough to get into the postseason. Because last year when they got into the postseason, Albuquerque was not healthy.
And he would have made a huge difference last year.
For sure.
Huge. Popped him up. Left side. Peralta to the grass. And Lowe is out, 1 gone. So he's unable to advance the runner. Now Alcides Escobar. In search of his first hit, 0 for 3, struck out his last time up. Marte came on for 2/3 before giving way to Albuquerque. Pitch out, runner going. Now he's going to put on the brakes and get caught in a rundown. Fielder to Infante. The tag is made.
Jim Leland, boy, he was able to sniff that one out.
Escobar tried to help out by swinging at the pitch.
I don't know if it's a hit and run or not. A lot of times it's a hit and runs on. You're taught as a hitter to swing the bat. Once Falou saw that the ball was swung through and that it was a pitch out and got himself into a rundown. But usually you do not get out of rundowns here in the majors.
So the bases are empty. 0-1 on Escobar. Ball high, 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. What in your mind was it, do you think, that tipped Leland off to try a pitch out in that particular count?
Probably a scouting report that he's been given on Ned Yost. There are times when managers have a tendency of putting on a hit and run in certain counts, certain situations.
The 2-1. Checked it. Went around. 2-2.
That could have been it, and Jim just simply could have guessed correctly there as well. Knowing how aggressive the Kansas City Royals are as a base running team, and that they would try to get Falou down in the scoring position.
Escobar takes off the plate inside. Tigers infield was a step back to the dugout. They thought they got him looking. Three and 2. Swing and a miss. And Albuquerque picks up another strikeout. His third is coming on. Austin Jackson will lead it off as we go to the stretch. Austin Jackson, you see some of the numbers here in 2012 have taken a big hike north compared to some of his numbers in 2011. One of the numbers that has gone south, though, is the strikeout numbers, which is awfully impressive.
And how about fielders? And also Miguel Cabrera driving in Jackson 58 times this year. He has scored 99 runs.
Leading things off here in the bottom of the 7th in a 4-4 tie. Guthrie still out there. And he delivers a strike, make it 0-2 on Jackson.
And most leadoff hitters are unselfish, and really the only number they care about going into spring training is whether they touch home plate 100 times or not.
Ball high, 1-2.
If you score 100 runs, that's usually a really good year.
Well, Jackson will get there this year. Leads the league in triples as well. He's had a double and a homer in this game. And the 1-2 tipped into the glove for strike 3. They got him that time. One gone here in the 7th. It'll bring up Barry. Six in a row retired by Jeremy Guthrie. He's gotten Barry 3 times, each time on the ground. Ball 1. Tries to bunt, jabbed at the baseball, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Barry now 0 for 7 in this series. Guthrie working quickly, the 1-1. Missed it high. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's an even 100 now for Guthrie. The bullpen working for KC. Here's the 2-1. It's in there. 2-2 on Quinton. And another bouncing ball to second base. Falou has this one as well, and Quinton now has had 4 ground ball outs in this game, 2 gone. Here is Cabrera. Miguel tonight is 0 for 3.
Miguel has not homered this year. Against the Kansas City Royals, he nearly missed one his last time up.
Popped him up. Not going to get it here either as Hosmer waits. And Guthrie has a quick 1, 2, 3 innings. 7 in the books. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
It's tracking, video highlights and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit tigers.com for details.
So we're still tied at 4 in this one, and Joaquin Benoit coming out of the bullpen for Detroit.
And Joaquin's had a very good year. 80 strikeouts, 20 walks, 3.19 ERA, pitching in his 70th game out of that Tigers bullpen. He's been steady lately.
Going to have to navigate through the middle of the lineup for the Royals. They have 3, 4, and 5 coming up. It'll be Gordon, Butler, and Perez. 4 runs, 9 hits for KC. 4 runs, 7 hits for Detroit. And Gordon, who is 0 for 4 against Benoit with 3 punch-outs, comes walking in.
Benoit's got that equalizer for left-handed batters. He's got that real good changeup that fades down and away. And from the lefties, also the breaking ball down toward the back foot. And a 96-mile-per-hour fastball to go with. Those 2 off-speed pitches.
Gordon, a couple of doubles in this game. One of them produced a run. Royals led 4-1. Tigers came marching back with 3 in the 4th inning on 2 homers. Ball 1 missing outside. Benoit now with 80 strikeouts, tied for 5th among all American League relievers. In there, a strike at 95 miles an hour. So Benoit replaces Albuquerque, who gave up just the one hit. Struck out 3 in 2 1/3. Good pitch, outer edge. 1-2. Gordon in the hole.
Nothing Gordon could do with that last fastball from Benoit, 94.
Tigers today started Porcello. Marte came on in the 5th at Albuquerque. And now Benoit. Just off the plate. Ooh, Benoit thought he had it too. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled away. Butler to follow, then Perez. Final game of this series happening tomorrow here. This 3-game series turned into a 4-game set with the makeup game we had on Monday. Pfister and Mendoza tomorrow. Here's Doug. He'll be shooting for his 11th win. Bouncing ball slowly towards second. Infante throws him out. Gordon is out, 1 away. Here's our Comerica game summary. In a 4-4 tie, Avila, Jackson both homering in the 4th inning off Guthrie. 5 of the 9 hits for the Royals for extra bases, and Cabrera now at .327 with his 0 for 4 tonight. Here's Billy Butler. Strike 1 on Billy. Singled in a run back in the 3rd. Butler takes low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Butler now has hit safely in 24 of his last 26. Came in 6th in the American League in batting average, and right now it stands at .315. Career year for Butler in terms of home runs, RBIs. And he takes outside, 3-1. Salvador Perez waiting on deck. Three and 2. 1 for 7 against Benoit with a couple of strikeouts. He, like Gordon, not very good numbers against Joaquin. Meanwhile, in Chicago, they go to the 4th. It is still 3-1 in favor of the White Sox. Swing and a miss. Butler goes down. Benoit is retired too.
Nice job by Joaquin. He fell behind Butler 3 balls and 1 strike, and he came back with a slider. And then on the 3-2 pitch, you see the grip. That's a changeup. Really get a good look at it here.
Nine strikeouts for Tigers pitching tonight. Here's Perez. He's punched out 3 times. And he shoots that one foul back out of play. Not a whole lot of luck either against Benoit. Not much history though. Perez last year broke into the big leagues and showed what he could do.
This young man's got a bright future.
And he shoots that one back up the middle. That'll be a 2-out single. So Perez is on, and for the Royals, an even 10 hits. That'll bring up Moustakas. He's 1 for 3. And 1 for 3 against Benoit as well. Popped him up foul. Cabrera giving a look, and it just eluded him back into the dugout. Wind might have brought that one back a little bit. Moustakas got to the big leagues with some big time minor league credentials. 2-time minor league player of the year. Made 3 all-star teams in the minors. Up and down rookie season last year. Here's the 0-1. Driven down the right field line. That ball is hooking, and it is foul. 0-2 on Moustakas. And the 0-2 in the air toward left, chasing Barry back. Quinton gets to the wall to make the catch. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Benoit does his job in the 8th.
Building that was back in the fourth when Francoeur played long ball. Tigers are trailing 4-1 at that time, but they came back with a 2-run home run by Alex Avila, and then Austin Jackson also homered in the same inning, and that's where we stand right now, 4-4, bottom half of the 8th inning.
And we have not had any runs since the fourth inning. 4 runs, 10 hits overall for KC. The Tigers 4 runs on 7 hits. And we've got a new pitcher on now for the Royals. That is Kelvin Herrera.
He's got a big arm. His fastball will get up to 100 miles an hour. And 75 strikeouts for Herrera, 20 walks in 81 innings this year, 2.33 ERA.
Guthrie departed the game, retiring 10 of the last 11 he faced. Gives way to Herrera here in the 8th inning. Fielder Young Dirks. And the first pitch. Ball 1. Prince tonight a single, a walk, and a ground out. Tigers since that 4th inning have had just 1 single. That's it. That was by Fielder. And that one darts low at 99 miles an hour, 2-0. That's it for a strike, 2-1. Herrera still very young, only 22 years of age. Out of the Dominican Republic. One shot in the air to center field, and Lowe will run back and make a leaping catch. Boy, did he hit that ball hard. He had to play deeply, too.
Yeah, defensively in the outfield, all of the outfielders are playing no doubles depth.
In-game box tonight for the Tigers. Jackson, double and a homer, having another big night. Here's Delvin Young. Swing and a miss. Another swing and a miss at 99. 0-2. Herrera made his big league debut briefly last year, being called up from AAA. And there's a ground ball off the glove of the first baseman Hosmer. Pitcher covering, throws, safe. Herrera couldn't hold on to it. Go ahead run is on.
Nice recovery here by the second baseman, Falou. And had Herrera been able to hold on to it, they get the out.
Delman lifted for the pinch runner, Don Kelly. First Tigers hit since the 5th inning. Andy Dirks 1 for 3. Dirks had a single to drive in a run back in the 2nd. It's tapped foul. Check the hit total on KC. That's 8 Royals hits. Now the infield single by Delman. Dirks 1 for 2 against Herrera. And toss back. Kelly dives back in. Guthrie retired the last 8 straight, giving way to the Royals bullpen and the flame-throwing Kelvin Herrera. Way outside. Peralta will be next. Here's the 1-1. Runner goes. It is a ball low. Thrown on to second. The tag safe. Kelly swipes a bag. Going to get an argument now.
Pretty good jump by Don Kelly. And we do know the catcher Perez has a cannon for an arm. But the fact that he threw the ball up, Falou had to reach up and then reach back down to apply the tag, and that may have allowed Kelly to slide in safely.
Very brief argument from Ned Yost. Now the go-ahead run at second base. Second steal of the year for Don Kelly. 2-1 on Dirks. And a soft base hit to left field. Here comes Kelly to third. They're going to stop him there. And the Tigers have him at first and third with 1 out.
And nothing Gene Lamont could do there. Kelly read the ball very well off the bat of Dirks, but 20 assists from left field for Alex Gordon, 14 this year. No way you're going to run yourself into an out there.
Now we'll get a conversation on the mound as well. The Tigers threatening here with runners at first and third. Only 1 out.
Hey fans, you know the drill by now. As soon as the game ends, our coverage will continue with Tigers Live. You'll hear from the manager, Jim Leland. The players will break down the game, show you some highlights as well. Tigers Live immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit. And we'll also show you what happened in Chicago this evening with the Indians and the White Sox.
So here is Peralta now trying to bust this 4-4 tie. Not much luck against Herrera to this point. 0 for 3.
Jim does have a few left-handed bats at his disposal on the bench, but sticking with Peralta.
And a swing and a miss. 0-1. Johnny tonight, infield single. Also walked and has scored a run. Missed it outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. All started with the single by Delman Young off the glove of the first baseman Hosmer.
And a big gap out in right center field. All their outfielders playing really shallow.
Perez had to go down to get that one at 100 miles an hour. 2-1. It is coming in hot. There's Avila waiting on deck. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball to third. Moustakas gobbles it up to second. One relay to first. No! He held out of the relay. Was flipped like a pancake. Andy Dirks does his job at second, and the run scored.
What a slide by Andy Dirks. Tigers have had that happen to them a lot this year. This time, it works in their favor. Andy Dirks was not being held up, and he just did not let him complete the double play. That's good baseball right there.
5-4 Detroit as they break the tie here in the bottom of the 8th. What a slide by Dirks. RBI for Johnny Peralta. That'll bring up Avila. Alex with a 2-run homer in this game, and he swings and misses 0-1. Moustakas leading all American League third baseman in double plays started with 41. It looked like he might have another one, but Dirks had other ideas. The 0-1 pitch. We'll get back out of play. 0-2. Royals will have the bottom of their lineup due up 7-8-9 against Valverde, who's getting in that zone. Ball high, 1-2 the count. Big stolen base by Don Kelly also figures in the scoring here after pinch running for Delman Young. Here's the 1-2. High fly ball. Center field. David Lowe is under it, and that is that. However, the Tigers go ahead. They get a run in the bottom of the 8th as Andy Dirks breaks up a double play. Andy Dirks busting up a potential double play. Don Kelly scores the go-ahead run, and it's 5-4 as we go to the top of the 9th inning. And the Tiger bullpen tonight, you got to tip the cap. Marte, Albuquerque, Benoit, awfully good.
They've been out cold tonight. 6 strikeouts, no walks. Tiger scored that run in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and the baseball did not leave the infield.
Whatever it takes. Now Valverde will face Jeff Francoeur to lead things off. Hosmer and then Falou. 7, 8, 9 due up. Only 2 for 15 for Francoeur against Valverde. There's a ball inside, 1-0. Francoeur's home run back in the 4th made it a 4-1 lead for Kansas City. The Tigers, with a couple of home runs, came back to tie it up in the 4th inning, and then they go ahead in the 8th. Here's the 1-0. That is pulled foul. Cabrera guarding that line down there at third. Francoeur takes low. 2-1 the count. Hosmer waiting on deck. Royals, after getting the Francoeur home run in the 4th, really haven't had too many chances either. High towering fly ball left field toward the line. Berry coming over, has room. 1 out. 2 more to get for Valverde. Two for 6 in his career against Jose. Tigers have won 6 of the 7 against the Royals in this ballpark this year. These one-run games, an everyday occurrence for the Royals. They've had 49 one-run decisions this year, which is the most in the American League. Talk about playing a lot of tight games. And a good many of those coming against Detroit. Got another one brewing here tonight. Hosmer is 0 for 3. Way outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Way outside, now 3-0. Valverde retired Francoeur on the fly ball. Now he's fallen behind Hosmer. Waiting on deck, number 9 hitter Irving Falou, and he's had 3 hits.
If he does walk Hosmer, I think it will be by design. Hosmer not having a great year, but the guys that are coming up after him do not have home run power. Hosmer has home run power.
Strike 1. Ground ball, second base. Infante, 2 gone. comes back to get Hosmer. And that's going to leave it up to Irving Falou. 32,360 on their feet. Tigers came in tied with Chicago. They have a lead here tonight, 5-4 in the ninth inning. Three for three for Falou. In there, strike one. That'll get back out of play now. This ball game has been reduced to a single strike. 0-2. Valverde going through his ritual. Falou trying to keep it alive for the Royals. In the air toward left field. Barry coming out, and the Tigers win it 5-4. And they go into first place by a half game over Chicago.
Dirks. Big slide in this game. One of the reasons why they were able to hold on, along with that stellar bullpen performance tonight by Albuquerque, Benoit, Marte, and also Papa Grande.
The Tigers snap an 11-game losing streak in one-run games by winning it by a run here tonight. 5-4 your final score. A whole lot more coming up from the ballpark. Stay with us.